We have 4 seats up here beside the podium where we would like to invite our 1947 championship players. Yes, sure.
Where would you,
of course.
Which seat do you want? This one right here? Okay. And then now there's
Some people. You want me to take off? Now you sit back. Sit down right here. Do you want to take off?
90 and still here.
All right. All right, well, good morning and welcome everyone. My name is Dan Heinz, and I'm a member of the Cleveland Heights University Heights Board of Education. More important than that, I'm a graduate of Cleveland Heights High School. Most important, I'm the dad of a Heights High baseball player. A gallon of gasoline cost 15 cents. Harry Truman announced the Marshall Plan to help rebuild Europe after a devastating war. Jackie Robinson took to the field with the Brooklyn Dodgers, and Larry Doby took to the field here in Cleveland, ending decades of segregation in Major League Baseball. But that's not all that happened in 1947. No. Indeed, there was history being made right here when our own Cleveland Heights Tigers won the Ohio State Baseball Championship. Fast forward to 2015 when Heights High shut its doors for 2 years and the renovation of the building and the baseball field started. Our baseball field became a construction site overrun with trailers, trucks, dirt, and rubble. It's been 4 years since a baseball game has been played on the hallowed grounds right outside these windows of our dear Heights High. Not a single one of these incredible young men has played truly a home game. But they will. Maybe not today. But they will. And it's going to come sooner than later. But today is a special day nonetheless, because we are joined by 4 of the members of the 1947 championship team who have traveled from near and far to be here today. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to introduce these fine gentlemen and welcome these champions back home. First, in the audience today, we have the daughter of the late Rob Mann, class of 1947, and catcher for the championship team. Yes. Welcome home. We also are pleased to have the wife of the late Chet Kermode right here among us, and a Heights High grad herself. They were high school sweethearts, and she's back in her alma mater. Next, please help me to welcome Alvin Kate, class of 1948, and the assistant team manager. We are also thrilled to have Albert Morehart with us, class of 1947, and an outfielder on the championship team. Al's mother, Josephine Morehart, is the subject of the recent book, Mrs. Morehart and the Boys, which details how she reined in her son's energy, not easy to do of a high school boy, and as a single mother created the nation's first Little League right here in Cleveland. Bravo to her. We are also thrilled to have Marty Blake here, class of 1949, and the backup catcher. And finally, we have Morris Mo Cervansky, who pitched his team to victory in their doubleheader win over Akron Garfield. Mo then played both baseball and basketball at The Ohio State University, and eventually joined the major leagues pitching for the Cincinnati Reds. But through it all, Mo identified as a Cleveland Heights Tiger. In fact, when he was recruited as a student here at Heights to play for US, he proudly told them that he went to school with the Italians and the Jews and he was going to stick with the poor kids. So while our demographics may have changed over the years, the spirit at Heights High remains the same. We stick together no matter our background, and we achieve greatness together. Gentlemen, we are honored by your presence here, and we know that the current players are eager to meet you. So without further ado, I would like to invite Justin Sticks Rink up here, who will introduce his teammates, his coaches, and the rest of the teams that are here with us this evening. Here's Justin.
My name is Justin Rink, and I'm one of the senior captains on the 2019 baseball team. So I'm going to introduce my guys. First up is one of my fellow senior captains, Sean Murphy. Next is my other senior captain, Donovan Clayton. Up next is my fellow first baseman, Chandler Rowell. Next is the catcher on the team, Ethan Swain. Up next is another first baseman, Trent Adams. Next is outfielder, Hero Hansen. Up next is shortstop, Andy Hines. Up next is another outfielder, Aaron Honecker. Next is second baseman, Vincent Bellini. And another catcher, Ethan Quill. And then second baseman, shortstop, third baseman, Vince Holland. And then our coaches, first, Coach Mugridge. And Coach Petrie.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming. Nice to meet you. Thanks for
And I'd like to ask the JV-A team to stand, coaches and players. And the JV-B team, coaches and players. And that's it. That's your 2019 varsity and JV baseball teams.
So as you can see, today is a celebration of Cleveland Heights High School baseball program, past, present, and as we look out, we can clearly see a really glorious future. This day has not been made possible without our players and our coaches, without, who give up so much of their time. We have so many parents who have dedicated a great deal. I do have a couple of statistics about this amazing 1947 championship team that are worth also sharing. And I think that there may be some lessons for these young men in this record. The 47 team was not undefeated. They went 14-1, and I will give you one guess who that loss was to, boys. And so will you please remind me what job number 1 is for every high school athlete at Cleveland Heights High? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. There you go. All right. They were perfect, however, in districts and regionals. They went 2-0 in district and regionals. For the championship, they beat Cincinnati Withrow 4-1 and Columbus Upper Arlington 3-1. The coach's name was Bernie Zwig, but he had a nickname. Nobody can explain why, but his nickname was Rosebud. There's a wonderful anecdote, though, which I think really maybe tells a story of Heights High and a Heights Tiger. There was a young man named Ray Lindquist. And Ray was a shortstop, not a pitcher. But a day arrived when we needed a pitcher. And Ray was called to pitch against Willoughby. So the shortstop came in to pitched a perfect game. So it just goes to show that periodically a curveball gets thrown at you, and adversity can actually bring forth the very best of us all. So there's a lesson in that for us. As we talk about lessons, there were a number of us who were here last night. Last night was an amazing evening, and it's turned into one of my favorite nights of the year. It's our distinguished alumni induction ceremony. And there was a woman who was inducted last night, and her name is Katrina Carr Perot. And Miss Perot was a successful athlete, of course, and a successful student, of course. But what Miss Perot spoke about was the mantra that she learned, the values that she learned. And she sums them up in one very easy to remember but meaningful saying: I am because we are. And ever since last night, this has kind of been bouncing around in my head. And I realized that today is an I am because we are kind of day. I am because we are a community which values public education so much that this community voluntarily taxed themselves enough to restore old, run-down, dilapidated buildings into the pristine temple that we are in today. And 2 more middle schools coming online this August. That's the community that we are. I am because we are a community that celebrates our past, supports our present, and anxiously awaits our common future. I am because you are, as we heard earlier, a single mom who creates the first baseball little league in America. I am because you are, as Mo said, a community that strives to go to school with kids who don't look and worship like they look and worship. I am because you are Cleveland Heights Tigers. That brings an end to our official presentation. We have this room to just mix and mingle, to share some donuts, to look at memorabilia from the past, to buy some Heights alumni and Heights baseball merch. But really what we hope is that people just celebrate being together and talking to each other, rekindling old friendships, meeting one another. It's what we do. I have one. Yes? Mo, what was your favorite pitch?
Curveball.
Curveball. All right. There's lots of them in life. Nobody could hit his curveball. All right.
In high school, they couldn't hit it in college, and in the pros, and a lot of them can't hit it.
I like how he kept it in the present tense. They still can't hit it.
And I threw the curveball just like the fella from the Dodgers, the left-hander,
Oh,
from 12 to 6.
nice.
And my catcher, Bob Mann, he was great. The players were great. We grew up together. We played for Variety Post 313, and we came up and we played in Class A. We were a great ball club together.
That's great. Well, continue sharing your stories throughout the morning, please, Mo. Ladies and gentlemen, you have the room. Enjoy it.
So you were on the 47th team? What position did you play? Left-handed pitcher, so you were the one
I
that...
pitched a semifinal game one day in Columbus for the state championship, and the next day I pitched the final.
Who'd you guys play?
Played the Cincinnati team. I played for Cincinnati.
Oh, you were the one that played for the Reds?
So here we are. Not ideal, but like, what are your thoughts as you look at today?
Yeah, well, we were kind of hoping to be able to get out on the field and play a baseball game, but you know, we're kind of used to having to be flexible and finding alternate sites, alternate games, and just part of being in spring baseball. So the main event today was this, and honoring these 1947 state champions. So for us, it was a great day, even though we didn't get on the field.
Tell us about the field, like what it took to get it built, and what are you excited about?
Yeah, I'm really excited that they're taking the time to do it right. They could have, it's taken probably more time, more years than people would have expected, but I think they're doing it the right way. I can see the quality dugouts. I mean, they're putting in turf, really good soil, but because it was a construction site, it's going to take time to bring it back up and get the ground where you can actually play, a competitive game. The fencing looks great. I mean, there's concrete walkways, there's water, electric. I mean, it's going to be a showplace in Northeast Ohio.
Your kids seem like they really appreciate meeting the old timers, like the 47 team. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, these guys are, they're really into baseball, and when they heard about this event, they really all wanted to participate in it. We had already had some games scheduled. The JVs would have missed it, so they're actually kind of happy that they, got to see these returning alums and be part of the ceremony. Yeah.
What?
Can I ask you your thoughts about just being back today?
Oh, it's just wonderful. I haven't been back here for a long time. I was back here in 2009 when they had a reunion for they had a reunion back in 2009, and this was before they did the high school all over again. And this is the first time I've been back since then. They've rebuilt the high school, totally rebuilt it since then. It's just a beautiful place. And I saw the new baseball field, and it's really been upgraded since I played here in 1947.
Did you guys play out here?
We played on the same field that they've redone out here. We played all our home games here in 1946 and 47 when we won the state championship. And it wasn't anywhere near as nice as what it is now. They've really done a beautiful job.
And what about when you see the kids today still love the game? Does it make you feel good about being back and with the program?
Yeah, a real nice bunch of boys here. They were dressed very well. They're dressed like baseball players, and I was always taught that if you want to be a good baseball player, you got to dress neatly. And they're all dressed very neatly, and they're all well kept and well groomed, and I'm very proud of them. And it was just wonderful to be back here for this reunion.
Any of the final thoughts on what Heights meant to you as in your life?
Yeah, Heights High really shaped my life. When I entered Heights High as a sophomore, I really didn't have much direction. And I started out as a quarterback on the sophomore football team under Ralph Williams. And King Matthews had been the first string quarterback on the freshman team, but he left and went on vacation, so I was able to win the starting quarterback job on the sophomore team. And then when I became a junior, Bill Murphy, who'd been the first string quarterback on the undefeated Lake Erie League High School team in 1945, graduated. So I was able to become the first string quarterback under Coach Howard Boffman, and I was first string quarterback for 1946 and 47. And we had some great football teams. And I also was proud to be on, I started out baseball, I played here at Heights. I was on Bernie Zweig's 1946 team and 1947 team, which was undefeated except for one game. And however, we went to Columbus and we won both games down there. Mo Zavransky pitched both games. And Mo Zavransky was undefeated. He was a great pitcher. And later on, he signed and played with Cincinnati Reds. So it's been my honor to come back here and see this beautiful Heights High. What a great job they've done here to rebuild this place and build this beautiful facility here in this beautiful field. And I'm so glad. I could cry. I love Heights High so much. My education in Cleveland Heights. I went to Canterbury, then I went to Roxborough, and then I went to Cleveland Heights, and I graduated in January of '48.
Well,
And I
it's an
had,
honor to have you back. Sir.
yeah, it's just wonderful to be back here. And thank you so much for
Thank
the
you so
interview.
much. Thank you.
What happened to that black hair? It turned gray. You still got it.
You're awesome.
Oh, I got plenty of hair. Yeah.
How long did your mom live?
She died December 12th, 1978.
My ambition is to get to 100.
Yeah, well, I think
I want my picture on the smoking jelly.
I bet you do it too. Hey, where did you go?
All right, so wrap up the day here for me. Obviously not quite what we had planned, but tell me your thoughts on today.
I thought it was great to see all the alumni from that great 1947 team out here, and just being able to meet all of them and tell them about like how our season's going and hear their experiences. It's just been pretty great for me.
Yeah, it's an honor to be able to meet these players. We're working hard this season, and I feel like just seeing them like kind of inspires us to do better this season. So yeah, it's really an honor.
Basically, echoing on what they said. Basically, try to repeat what the 1947 Cleveland Heights High School varsity did, so you can have the same memories as them.
And how about the new field? You guys excited? Tell me about what you're thinking about.
I'm really excited to get out there for sure. Hopefully the weather clears up a little bit and they can just put finishing touches on it and get us out there for the last home stretch of the season.
Yeah, we're all ready to play.
We're anxious to touch the field, ready to get our home first true win at our Cleveland Heights High School varsity home team.
Good luck, guys. Thank you. Do you have any just sort of like thoughts about being back here? Like, how are you feeling today?
Well, I feel great. I'm the last of 5 of 6 kids, and my family, they're all gone. My cemetery here, that's where they're all at. That's where I'll be someday. If the good Lord's good, He's done all this to me right now. And I never thought I'd make 90 years old, and I'm 90 years old. And I'm still hanging in there. I can't complain.
What about
nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too.
What about Heights High? Being back at Heights High, what's going through your mind?
Wonderful. I'm so impressed what they've done to this school and how they've kept it and upgraded, and they added on. And the program last night was good. I was here in 2009 when they inducted us in the Hall of Fame. And it's amazing. All the years that went by, they never had a Hall of Fame. And they had it, and that gal that was the athletic director, she's an athletic director at a big college now, I don't know, but she was wonderful. And we had such a good time. And I loved Heights. You know, I had a scholarship to go to expensive U.S. university school, but I wanted to go with my friends there, all my poor friends. I said, I didn't want to go to U.S. They won the state championship the year before we won it, and I pitched the last game of the season as a sophomore against that team, and I shut them out. And they were the state champ. And Bernie's wife was the coach, but he didn't know much. Ray Lindquist, our shortstop, his father played for the Cardinals in 1921. And so I knew, he taught me everything I knew. He made me the ball player I was. But the only thing I'm shrinking. I was 5'11", and they say white man can't jump in basketball. I could dunk. I'm 5'11".
You played at Ohio State, right?
Yeah. And of course, I played basketball and baseball here. I played football too, and I got kicked in the head and I got a concussion. I said, this isn't for me. I weighed 135 pounds then. I was 150 when I graduated, and I pitched with the Reds at 175. I got up to 266 when I had my wife and my children and everything. I finally got down now. I'm 180. I'm below 200, and I feel terrific.
Yeah, that's great.
But I'm still, thank God, I'm still here.
Hey,
nice to see all these
Thanks for
kids.
coming out. Thank you so much for coming out.